Hi, I am a Davy. I am awesome. And welcome to Davy's Awesome Wrestling, where I review wrestling-related things all from the perspective of a fan, not an insider. I'm gonna stop that now. So this past week, for the first time ever, WWE clashed in Italy, from Turin, Italy. Let's get into it. The opening match for the WWE Championship. Gunther versus Cody Rhodes. It was good, but it was definitely not as good as their previous matches. But it built up a story as Gunther looked like he was about to choke out Cody Rhodes. And not only did he get out, but then Cody Rhodes was able to get the crossroads on Gunther and get the pin despite the fact that Gunther's foot in the beginning of it was outside the rope, out of bounds. So the fall should never even have been counted. But for the here and now, Cody Rhodes is still the WWE Champion. Like I said, it was good. I just don't think it quite earned a 4, but a solid 3 out of 5. Yeah! Then for the WWE Women's Championship, Jade Cargill finally getting her rematch against Rhea Ripley. I gotta give Jade Cargill credit, as much as it pains me. This was a really good match. Jade Cargill finally had a really good match. Of course, at some point, B-Fab and Michin came out to help Jade Cargill by putting her foot on the rope, but then Charlotte Flair came out, angry about the beatdown that had happened to Alexa Bliss, took down B-Fab and Michin, and also as a little tit for tat, put Rhea Ripley's foot on the rope. And it ended the way I wanted it to, because despite the fact that I'll give Jade Cargill the credit that she had a good match, still didn't want her to walk away with the championship, and she didn't. Rhea Ripley got her riptide, got the pin, the win, and she is still the WWE Women's Champion. But like I said, this was a really good match, really good storytelling. 4 out of 5. Yeah! And then, the rematch from WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. It was garbage. Immediately, Brock Lesnar came out, got an F5 to Oba. Didn't work. Got several more. In fact, throughout the match, he got 7 F5s. One of them through a table. But the last one in the ring turned out to be the one that finally did Oba in, and he got the pin and the win, and Brock Lesnar gets his ego boosted yet again. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad that they made Oba look strong with all the kicking out and everything, getting out of F5s and Kimura locks, but this was incredibly unnecessary. You had the great ending at WrestleMania for a guy that I really don't feel deserves that great ending, but still got it, and then you go and ruin it like this because you just can't stop kissing Brock Lesnar's ass. I would only give this one a 2 out of 5. Then for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Sol Ruca challenging Becky Lynch. It was good, and it was kind of a sweet irony moment as Becky Lynch tried to steal Sol Ruca's finisher, the Soul Snatcher, but instead, Sol Ruca reversed it and gave Becky Lynch a manhandle slam. Sweet irony. Then got her own Soul Snatcher onto Becky Lynch, got the pin and the win, and Sol Ruca is the new Women's Intercontinental Champion. I'll get more into this later, but whereas I feel it was really good, still wouldn't give this one a 4. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. Yeah! Then the main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, Tribal Combat. Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns, where it's not just the title on the line, but the title of Tribal Chief. It was really good, really brutal. Of course, there's no rules, so of course tables, outside fighting, all that kind of stuff. And it was after Roman Reigns got a spear on Jacob Fatu through a table, followed by another spear, that he was able to finally pick up the pin and the win, making it to where the next night on Raw, Jacob Fatu would have to acknowledge him as the Tribal Chief, and he retains his World Heavyweight Championship. But then there's also continuing story, as after Jacob Fatu was leaving, having lost, right there at ringside is MFT. Group led by Solo Sikoa, who originally brought in Jacob Fatu. So we'll see where that's going. I was a little disappointed. I wasn't predicting they were going to make Jacob Fatu the Tribal Chief, but I really don't want any more long Roman Reigns reigns. In fact, after his last title reign, that boringly lasted for over 3 years, I just feel like if he never became champion again, that would be too soon. But I can't deny how good it was. Match of the night. But that little thing made it to where I'm not going to give it a 5, but a 4 out of 5. Yeah! So Clash in Italy overall was okay. 2 3s, 2 4s, and a 2. Didn't have a single 5. The opening match, I kind of predicted that Cody Rhodes was going to keep the title, But I like that they're building a story and keeping it going, and him and Gunther have good matches, but I think they need to step it up next time. That's it. Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. Like I said, I have to give Jade her props. She did really good. She looks like she's finally learning how to put on a good match, which is something that the person I compare her to a lot, Goldberg, never did. The Brock Lesnar-Oba Femi thing, I kind of knew that Brock Lesnar was going to win. I'm glad that they didn't make Oba look weak in it, but can Brock Lesnar just be done already? I've never liked him. The Women's Intercontinental match, I'm glad that it's off of Becky Lynch, because in my opinion, someone like Becky Lynch being the Intercontinental Champion, that's a step down. Somebody like Sol Ruca, that's a step up. However, as far as Sol Ruca goes, even in NXT, I never understood what the hype was about her. Like, she's good, but in my opinion, she's not as great as they're making her out to be. And now they're pushing her like they did in NXT. And all I can say to that is whatever, maybe she can make a go of it. The Tribal Combat, I went into it predicting Roman Reigns was going to win. Because, again, I did not think they were going to make it to where Jacob Fatu is now the Tribal Chief. But I was hoping. Because I don't want any more Roman Reigns as champion stuff. He's reforming the bloodline. I don't like that. It had its run. Let it go. As far as, is Jacob Fatu going to go back to that bloodline or stay with Roman Reigns and his bloodline? Who knows? The next night on Raw, he did come out and acknowledge Roman Reigns, but again, it's just up in the air. Who knows? But hopefully soon, somebody, whether it's Jacob Fatu, whether it's Solo Sikoa, whether CM Punk comes back and does it, somebody takes that title off of Roman Reigns. Because the truth is, as many people loved it and it ended great, I can't help but think about all that time in between Roman Reigns' last championship reign got so redundant and boring. Again, it made history and everything, and everybody's looking at the end result, but you don't understand that the in-between was all garbage. It's like having a really good meal. My steak was good, but my sides sucked. So it wasn't a good meal. That's kind of how it was with that. The beginning of it was great. The end of it ended great, but for almost 3 years in between, it just dragged out and became the same thing time and time again, and I'm so afraid of them doing that again with the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't want it. Please take the title off of Roman Reigns. But that being said, as far as Clash in Italy overall, like I said, it was okay. It wasn't great. I wouldn't say it felt like a filler pay-per-view, but it didn't feel like a very exciting one either. So whereas I'll give it its props and say that it was good, I would not give Clash in Italy anything more than a 3 out of 5. Yeah! So there you have it. That is my wrestling review this week. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell so you'll get notifications for when I post new videos, and leave a comment that I can respond to in my next Comic Corner. And tell me how much you hate my accent. Love you guys.